will be your MC today, and without further ado, we will start our first Black History Month program titled Young, Gifted, and Black. To start, we will have Dwayne Thomas and Elijah Green read Matthew chapter 18, verses 1 through 3, and Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1.
Of heaven. And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. I have read to you Matthew 18, verse 1 through 3.
Amen.
I'm reading Ecclesiastes 1. Remember your Creator while you're young, before the days of trouble come, and the years when you say, I find no pleasure in them. Thank you.
Amen. How about you give them a round of applause? Now we'll have Derek show a piece of his artwork.
Oh, I can't see.
Good morning, church. Good morning. This piece of artwork symbolizes the struggles that we as Black people have overcame and that we still struggle to overcome today. This picture also symbolizes us coming all the way from the dark days of slavery to now having a Black man in the White House going for his second term of presidency. Amen. Amen.
Now we will have Byron Devin read Fritz Pollard.
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
This is my Fritz Pollard essay. Fritz Pollard was born in Chicago on January 27th of 1894. He attended Blaine Tech High School, where he played football, baseball, and he also ran track. He attended Brown University, majoring in chemistry. He also played halfback on the Browns football team, and he led that team to the 1916 Rose Bowl. He was the first Black to be named the Walter Camp All-American team. He later played pro football with the Akron Pros, the team he would lead to the NFL championship in 1920. In 1921, he became the co-head coach of the Akron Pros. He also played for the Milwaukee Badgers, Hammond Pros, Gilberton Catamounts, Union Club of Phoenixville, and Providence Steamrollers. Pollard also served as co-coach for the Milwaukee Badgers with Al Garrett for part of the 1922 season. He also coached a non-NFL team, Gilberton, in 1923. And in 1924, he served as head coach for the Hammond, Indiana football team. Pollard, along with all 9 of the football players in the NFL at the time, were removed from the league at the end of the 1926 season, never to return again. He spent some time organizing all Black brainstorming teams, including the Chicago Blackhawks in 1928 and the Harlem Brown Bombers in the 1930s. In 2005, Fritz Pollard was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He appears as a free agent in Madden NFL 09 and Madden NFL 10, and is also part of the game's Hall of Fame feature. Pollard's son, Fritz Pollard Jr., won the bronze medal for the 110-meter hurdles in the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin. The Fritz Pollard Alliance is a group promoting minority hiring throughout the NFL is named for Pollard. Brown University and the Black Coaches and Administrators co-sponsor the annual Fritz Pollard Award, which is given to the college or professional coach chosen by the BCA as Coach of the Year. Thank you.
Talk about an athlete. Next, Paris Johnson and Amaya Lawson will read a short paragraph about the NAACP.
Good morning.
NAACP is founded in 1909. The
in response to the call and decided to form the NAACP. It was called the National Social Committee, and among the founders were W.E. Ida Wells and many other members who were not African American. Thank you.
And now for our final event before our skit, we will have Jaden Huey read a paragraph about the church history regarding our very own 29th Street.
Good morning, church. In April 1927, the Jerry, Nebraska Avenue and Seminole Heights churches sponsored a scheduled 3 weeks meeting with evangelist Marshall Keeble of Nashville, Tennessee, doing the preaching. The tent was placed on a lot where the parsonage and church now stand. The people began to respond about a week or two after the meeting had begun. At the end of this period, the interest was so excitingly high that the sponsors extending the meeting to 2 weeks long. At the end of this period, there was a total of 99 persons who heard God's message and put on Christ in baptism. Thus, quoting Brother Keeble, this is the first congregation of Church of Christ among my people in the state of Florida.
And now, without further ado, we will play our skit.
Mama, in school today, the teacher said it's important to study Black history. I think it's boring. Why do we have to study Black history? I can see I'm Black, and life as African American is great.
It hasn't always been that way. We still have racial discrimination today. Have you touched the Black National Anthem?
Man, what is that?
The Black National Anthem is a song of pride and honor. You stand up as a man played as you do for the national anthem.
Can you sing it for me?
Let there be voices sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound high as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, sweetie. Now go take a nap for dinner.
is Obama?
Did you know our parents taught me work at peace, playing bit, sing hard, sing our Christian friends.
My mom and dad expressed this thought. Love God, respect others, say yes ma'am and no sir. Importantly, they said it took a village to raise a child.
Oh, excuse me.
Hello, young lady. Are you enjoying the party?
Yes, ma'am, you look a little familiar. If you don't mind, can I ask your name?
I'm Fannie Lou Hamer. I discovered in the Constitution that Negroes had a right to vote. I volunteered to register voters. I'm an SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee member who decided to go to the courthouse to register to vote. This was dangerous. As a result, others were beaten and jailed. My life was threatened, I was shot at, and I lost my job. Yet I still became field secretary for SNCC and spoke and registered voters. I once made a speech in front of the Credentials Committee in front of a televised group to let them know blacks weren't allowed to vote by illegal tests, taxes, and intimidation. My speech helped Mississippi delegates get a seat at Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, excuse me.
That's all right, young lady. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
What's your name? James Walter Johnson.
I remember my mother mentioning your name. Did you write the Negro National Anthem?
Yes, I did.
Can you tell me more about it?
Well, I am an educator, poet, novelist, diplomat, and civil rights leader. Which way? In 1920, I was a secretary for the NAACP. I wrote books about the culture of black people. I wrote books about the culture of black people's contribution to music, religion, and theater. I wrote an autobiography of a book about the ex-colored man, and I was a diplomat for Venezuela and Nicaragua.
I'm so glad I had the opportunity to meet you.
I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine.
Hello, young man. And how are you doing today, young lady?
Fine, and you, sir?
I am well. Did you know I practiced law in Baltimore, Maryland, and represented many clients for free? I wanted to attend the University of Baltimore, Maryland, but because of the color of my skin, I wasn't accepted. So I attended the Howard University and graduated with honors. I earned 29 out of 32 Supreme Court cases. And, one of my famous cases was Brown versus School Board of Topeka, Kansas in 1954. It was a historic decision that overturned but separated but equal doctrine. I enjoyed my time being the first African American Supreme Court judge.
I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to meet you.
Thank you.
I remember you from my classroom. Your picture is on the White House wall.
Oh, I am proud that people recognize my work.
Do you like science?
Yes, I used to look at the stars and count them. My neighbors called me the stargazer. I quit school to help my father on his farm. At home I would study the weather, animal life, and the stars. I loved to read and read everything I could. I carved a clock and made a watch that lasted 50 years. I was the first black to receive a presidential appointment. George Washington commissioned me to lay at the city of Washington, D.C. Later, although I was never a slave, I spoke against the system that held my people in bondage. Later, although I was young, I became an astronomer, mathematician, inventor, surveyor, philosopher, and abolitionist.
Thank you so much.
Hello, young lady. Are you enjoying yourself? Is this your first time in the White House?
Yes, and where are you going with that big, furry, puffy coat?
I'm going to the North Pole with Admiral Robert E. Carey. We tried twice before, but the weather was too frigid and too rough. We tried again. Admiral Robert E. Carey got very ill. I continued to put the American flag at the North Pole. What helped my journey smoother was my knowledge of the Eskimo language. I had traveled to Europe, Africa, and South Pacific. I had wonderful adventures.
I love learning the history of our people. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, you're Geraldine Henston. You live in Edenville, Florida. This is not far from my hometown, Tampa. I know you wrote several books before my time.
That's right, sweetie. I love language and folk tales. I'm a great storyteller because in our town, everyone would sit on the porch and share stories. Are you ready to hear the chorus sing?
Yes, ma'am.
Down by the riverside, way down.
Get behind me.
What?
Get behind me. What I say? Sit behind me.
You're so mean. I told you.
Is that it?
You like it.
Mm-hmm.
You look pretty. Take